USGBC has been working over the past 3 decades to advance our mission of transforming the built environment towards sustainability, resilience, health, and equity for all communities. The founders were really focused on how it is that we can actually motivate change. So much of the work that they had done is about creating this platform and then really helping the industry come together and work together towards putting these solutions into practice.
When I met Mike Italiano, we, through Congress, created this Green Building Congressional Program. We'd say, we'd like to talk to you about defining green building for the US, about having demonstration projects, an annual conference, and standards. And we started working in October of 1992 on the organization that became USGBC.
So the idea of USGBC came from them to me. What they were looking for is the support of a major corporation that could not only financially support the growth of their idea, but also lead the corporation mentality into why this would be good for business.
The vision from David Gottfried and Mike Italiano was to bring together all the different people in the building industry that weren't really talking to each other and really didn't understand what it meant to create something in terms of the building industry becoming more sustainable and green.
We were all trying to figure out what it meant to do a green building. We were also trying to figure out what it meant to be an organization that had radically different interests. We had environmental groups, we had architects, we had manufacturers, we had owners, and these are folks who hadn't really proactively talked together before.
It gained momentum because people realized they were valued, and it was just excitement about being part of something that was making a difference in the world.
When you create that type of environment, people want to participate. People have a sense of delivering something above and beyond themselves. That's been the secret sauce of what USGBC has been.
LEAD was created as a definition for green building leadership to give us a common framework for what is best practice and to align towards common goals to help us improve performance in the built environment.
You can't define something unless you can measure something. You need data that proves to people how much of an impact you will have on the community, on your employees, and that's why the rating tool, LEAD, was developed.
That was a major shift. Made green buildings very real, and it built an industry.
And as one building got certified, 2 buildings got certified, and it became a market trend, it kind of snowballed into this is how this is done, this is the standard.
We sort of imagined that we would raise the bar over time and that more companies would start to do what we were asking them to do. It's become so much more part of the infrastructure of the way that we build today.
To see it grow to what it's become was, quite frankly, almost inconceivable. When you think about the literally billions of square feet of space around the world that people are living and working in that have a LEED certification, that's pretty extraordinary. It means the organization is having a beneficial impact on a lot of lives.
USGBC gained momentum over the years through outlets like Greenbuilt, through the massive volunteer network across the country and across the world.
We had a groundswell of players in different pockets all over the country, and USGBC became an umbrella that brought them together. And so I think one of the real strengths of both the organization and Greenbuilt itself is the fact that all the disciplines are in the room.
But also gained momentum because we kept evolving. So it wasn't just one system for new construction. It was, okay, we're going to look at interiors, we're going to look at existing buildings, and it's not just about at the moment that a building is built, but it's how it's operated, and then it's how it exists within the larger context of a city.
The challenge is to keep innovating at the pace and the scale and the urgency that's required to truly have an impact on our planet, not just on our built environment.
So what I like about USGBC, they're always looking for what is the big next thing. I think this is just the beginning. USGBC is going to be even more relevant as we move forward.
What has continued to evolve in the history of green buildings is understanding what green buildings mean to the world. It's about the opportunity of people to live up to their full potential, whether that's at work, at school, and how critical our buildings are to the communities that they constitute.
When we first started thinking about LEED, a lot of it was focused on environmental work. water, air, energy. And I think that over the last 20 years or so, a few things have become much more important. I think the issues around social equity, who are the buildings serving, how do we make sure that there's wellness and health happening within the buildings has become a much more urgent question.
Health and well-being is something that we talk about all the time, but if we go back not that many years, talking about health was really not something that people were ready to listen to.
One thing that we know about the connection between the built environment and health is that your zip code is a greater predictor of your health than your genetic code. So there's this really close connection between where we live, work, and play and our projected health outcomes.
We're now, again, changing these categories and thinking about them from a broader perspective. How does this building affect the community around it? This building should have positive ripples to the community, to the region, to the world.
There's so much more of a focus now on environmental justice, on really including those and supporting those who are on the margins of our society.
The work of buildings is to provide shelter, and it's a really base need for people.
And the green building movement's opportunity there is not only to give the direct benefits that green building can provide to those communities, but those interventions actually benefit us all.
Green buildings don't exist for themselves, they actually exist for people. That's the excitement and that's the future.
The end result is increasing and adding value to the people who occupy the space. The innovation, creativity, success, education, implementation, all these different things that occur inside of that space are what's the value of a building.
USGBC has been really good at being a nexus for the built environment community in terms of advocacy power and really making sure that the built environment is seen as having a bigger role than understanding buildings as a transactional, one-off sort of situation.
The founders really understood that by providing a flexible and actionable pathway toward improving the efficiency and sustainability of buildings, that we could put a dent in the universe and really a significant contribution toward addressing the threat of climate change.
There's no way we could fathom the scale, the impact, the size. We didn't think that our model would be so vibrant that there'd be a World Green Building Council and GBCs in approximately 70 countries.
We've built an industry, and now the task ahead, frankly, is to speed up the speed and scale of that industry getting to absolutely every building in the world.
30 years of history gives the USGBC and the LEED team a great history to work from, to build and continue to evolve the system into something that is needed right now, which is to really develop the next set of products that are going to get us to a decarbonized economy and world.
We have a new generation of people taking this business on, and that's a very good thing because the future is theirs, not ours. And this is the voice and the passion we need to go forward.
USGBC has changed the equation. The next generation is building on the momentum of the past 30 years. We have this opportunity for us to really embrace change at scale and really drive that forward with a new generation of leaders, a new generation of ideas and innovation that are going to help us transform the entire built environment.